Well, Chiefs Kingdom, we are a perfect 9-0. 9-0 going into week 11 of the 2024 season. And let me tell you, they ain't all been graceful. They ain't all been blowouts. They ain't all been just, we're kicked back. We've got this game in hand. No, they definitely have not been. But the Chiefs always seem to find a way to win. And that's what they did again against the Broncos in Arrowhead Stadium on November 10th. We're going to get into this game a little bit here. But, yeah, what a crazy, crazy ending. And I'll give you my thoughts on the end of this game here in just a little bit. But to start off, I am Golden Jay. This is the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Golden Jay is running solo for right now. The Chief is running late, so hopefully he'll be able to jump on here before too long. But yeah, we need to get this thing rolling. What do we got going on out there, Chiefs fans? I want to hear from you. Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast at gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Chiefs this season so far, their wins, their losses. Well, no, wait, there is no losses. Their squeak-by wins, the faults, and whatever else you guys got going on. Well, I was leaping through some Chiefs news here. A couple things that are really, really cool. It looks like, let me see if I can find this real quick. It was just right here. Yeah. It looks like running back Isaiah Pacheco and defensive end Charles Omenihu have returned to practice as of today, the 12th of November. They returned to practice. I'm not sure what all, how much time they're getting out there on the practice field, but according to yardbarker.com, they are back on, it will open okay, there you go. It'll open a 3-week window for both to practice with the team before they will be added to the active roster. So they're back on the practice field. They're out there getting some work in. Pacheco, coming off of the injury, I do believe he had a surgery on his, was it his knee? I do believe it was his knee. So, he's been putting in that work to get back, which I think is a perfect time. I'm not gonna lie, man. I love Kareem Hunt, and when we signed Kareem, I was the first on this podcast to say that I was happy that he was coming back because coming back to Kansas City. That I didn't think he had lost a step, and he has been remarkable in everything he's done for Kansas City. But man, these last couple games, they just look like they're beating the living crap out of him, and he just looks a little worn out. So it'll be nice to get Pacheco back, and we can let Kareem do his thing, and yet still at the same time not be out there for every down, every run. I'm just afraid that they're going to just totally destroy him, and he's going to go down for the rest of the season. I'd love to keep him around. He's an amazing back, especially coming out of the backfield. The guy definitely knows how to run and catch and get moving. It's remarkable to have him back. I'm thrilled, and he's done nothing but show that he is still a talented running back. So there you go. With Isaiah and Charles Omenihu coming back, I mean, Omenihu coming on, especially with Uche getting some time this week during the game versus the Broncos. I mean, he wasn't out there a lot. I've seen him a little bit, but it's good to have. I mean, we're just keep building that defense. In all honesty, I think we need to really focus on the secondary of the defense, and we just could not seem to get it right out there. Not that the Broncos had a ton of receiving yards, but looks like Cortland Sutton had 6 receptions for 70 yards. Veely had 39 yards. It just seemed like when they wanted a first down, there was somebody wide open. I watched my boy McDuffie get burnt a couple times, which, that never happens. Trent usually is really, really on the money, and he had a couple that was just like, what the hell is going on? But I don't know. It was kind of crazy, but it was definitely a defensive battle game. Kansas City walks away with the victory 16-14, so it wasn't like there was a ton of scoring. Break it down, Denver scored 14 in the second quarter, and that was it. Zeros all the way across the rest of the way. So they weren't necessarily getting in there for, touchdown after touchdown. I mean, just whew. All right. Well, let's go ahead and break this game down. I do have my notes. I did sit and watch every bit of that game. I did make a few notes. So let's roll through it in Golden J style. And we'll talk about a few more things. All right, let's start off with the first quarter, man. The Chiefs win the coin toss and defer like they always do. The opening drive leaves Denver 3 and out. KC for the first drive on a 3rd and 10, 15. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Mahomes. A nice little run. 3rd and 8, though, Pat was sacked and they had to punt. And then somewhere right after that in that next drive, Najee Johnson for a big sack on Nix with a 17-yard loss. And I think this is important to take away from it because, that wasn't the only sack they had on him, on Bo Nix. You can definitely tell he's a rookie quarterback because he's trying to out-scramble these guys and he's losing yards. This one was a 17. I do believe he had another 17 or 18-yard loss. No, it was a 16, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. It's in the third quarter. But he gets trying to scramble out of these things, and he ends up going the wrong way. And, a 17-yard sack is a big to-do. Chiefs come back 3 and out with 4 minutes to go. And we end the first quarter. The defense is, like I said, the defense is playing so far off. 10-yard openings on some of these Bronco receivers. 13 and another big sack. But I've seen a couple of he's got bad choices. So Najee Johnson just sometimes, like I said, he had that big sack, but sometimes he just doesn't make good choices along the way. He fell down a couple times, and then he was running into his own player. But we finished the first quarter 0-0. So, nothing lost too much there. No points given up. Second quarter starts, 14:20 to go. Broncos score, making the Broncos up 7-0. 11:30 to go in the second quarter. Noah Gray, big catch and run. I personally at that point thought he was hit way too far out of bounds. Once again, no flag. So once again, if you think that Kansas City has the refs in their pockets, yeah, I don't think so, people. Because there was a lot of no flag going on there. Anyways, about 9:09 to go. Butker punts one through for a 3 points, giving the Broncos the 7-3 lead. And then the Broncos turn right around, drive back down. 6:39 to go. Broncos with a touchdown, giving them that 14-3 lead in the second quarter. Let's see. At about a minute 44, Travis Kelce, that's right, Travis Kelce, touchdown, giving the Chiefs 10, giving the Broncos still the 14-10 lead. That drive actually was saved by an illegal contact on Denver. It was so weird because it was like would have brought up 4th down and long or something to that effect, and some sort of illegal contact on Kelce, I believe. and it just basically saved that drive from completely sputtering out, which, that gives us a touchdown. But in this, with that touchdown, or gives Kelsey ties Tony Gonzalez for the most receiving touchdowns in Kansas City history. So another mile marker for Kansas City. Kansas City's Travis Kelsey. I mean, if he doesn't go down eventually being the best tight end in Kansas City history, I'd be surprised, because he's doing nothing but breaking Tony Gonzalez's records. Pardon me. Yeah. Broncos head back down before the end of the half, and just as time was ticking out, they tried to make a field goal, but he come up a little short, which gave Hardman a chance to return it. You know, the old adage: if it comes up short, you got a chance to send it back. Hardman had an amazing run. He almost broke it. Man, it was so good, and we were definitely cheering him on too, as loud as we could here in our little house. And it was crazy. He was all over. He's bouncing guys, running away from guys, but they finally caught up with him. He was trying to get around one of the other Chiefs players, and that damn Broncos guy just snuck out from behind him and got him. So I think basically he ended up about the 50-45, 50-45, 50-45, I don't know, somewhere right in there, but just couldn't finish it off. But it was so close. He was doing an amazing job. Not much going on in the halftime show. I think I don't even know what was going on. I think I watched so much football this past weekend that I know that Machine Gun Kelly played one performance somewhere. But that was the Germany game, wasn't it? Yeah, that was Germany, because he did his version of Country Roads, and apparently everybody sang along to that. So it was pretty awesome. Anyways, we enter the third quarter. Chiefs right away 3-and-out on their opening drive. So much for that deferral and the coin toss. We just couldn't get anything. But the Chiefs hold the Broncos. About 7:45 to go. Pat escapes a rush out of, and has a big pass to Samante Pirine. It was a beautiful thing, man. Pat gets out. I mean, he snuck out. He looked like he was going down again, but it was insane. He just popped out and was gone. But it only turns into a field goal at 3:50 to go in the third, with Butker punting one through. And then with 6 seconds left to go in the third is where the Nick Bolton sack, big sack on Nick's, with a 16-yard loss. Once again, you can tell that this guy is a rookie quarterback, because he's always going the wrong direction on some of these. He thinks he's going to break free, and he keeps kind of backpedaling and so on and so forth. And 16 and 17-yard losses are a big to do, especially if you get into third down. Nobody wants a third and long. So we enter the fourth quarter at 13:39. Big pass and run by Hunt. Another big sack by the Chiefs to force a fourth down. Then a false start on Denver on the punt. All I'm saying is the 12th man, that Chiefs kingdom was there and was helping them out in every way that they could. Kansas City does a drive, then after that ends in a Butker field goal, giving Kansas City the first lead of the day this late in the fourth quarter, 16-14. And then the 2-minute warning hits, and Denver is driving. Denver is doing everything they can to get down the field. I think they used a couple of timeouts along the way there to kind of seize up some time. And they drive down and get within field goal range. And Sean Payton stops the clock with 1 second left on there. They're going to finish this bad boy off. get the field goal, get the go-ahead score to put away Kansas City, and get that win. This is important to Denver because they haven't beat Kansas City in Arrowhead since I believe 2015. And that is a lot of games coming into Arrowhead, I'm not saying they haven't beat them in Mile High because I'd have to go back and do all that. But, since 2015, Denver has not beat Kansas City in Arrowhead. And it's just kind of crazy to think that it's been that long. And here they are right on the edge, 1 second to go, going to kick a field goal. And of course, the announcers are talking about, the reliable kicker that they got and everything going on in that direction. And it just, I was at ease. I'm like, okay, we've had a really good run. We're 8-0 coming into this game. A loss to Denver sucks because it's a divisional game. But I'm okay with it. We played well throughout this whole year. One loss is not going to kill us. If you look at the standings as they are right now, after this weekend, Kansas City's 9-0. The Chargers are 6-3. Denver's now 5-5, and the Raiders are 2-7. So I mean, it's not like we're in a battle for the number one spot in the AFC West. So it's like, all right, one loss, we can handle this. Looking it over. And like I said, Sean Payton stops the clock 1 second. We're going to go the go-ahead field goal. And the play commences. And, and one of the most bizarre endings to a Chiefs game I've seen in a long time. Leo Chanel, George Karlaftis, and Justin Reed break through the line, giving Leo Chanel that chance to block the field goal, which he does. Najee Johnson, being a good player that he is, got over there, downed the ball, and the Chiefs win 16-14 in what should have been a loss of 17-16. Denver winning. But it just didn't happen. Because Leo Chanel, Justin Reed, and George Karlaftis punched through that line and blocked that kick, baby. It was insane. That my house erupted. And it was just me and the rocker chick here. She was screaming so loud. Poor Ozzy, the dog, didn't know what the hell to do with himself. He was running this way and that way. He just was, he was having a hell of a time. But as I just said, Chiefs win on an unpredictable ending. And it was amazing. And we are now 9-0. And speaking of 9-0, the Chief has joined us. And if you read his thing, his logo at the bottom, it says Chief 9-0. What's up, dude?
Not much. Sorry, I'm late. But
late again.
Yeah. And how's the audio? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I didn't hook up my stand, so. But yeah, I like.
Oh my goodness.
I like joining right when you were speaking on, because I've seen I don't know how many videos out there on this. The Chiefs win yet again. But guess what? You know what they're saying out there? I don't know if you've seen it, but they're saying that the Denver offensive line on that side caved on purpose just to let the Chiefs win so that they can continue their undefeated season on the way to a three-peat. And I call bullshit. Bullshit. For all you people out there saying it, there's all kinds of feeds with it in there, and people slowing down the play, and no, we just overpowered them. They did not just go down to a knee and let us run in and block that punt.
Okay, let me join in on that real quick. For starters, there's no way that Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos are going to, quote unquote, throw a game so that Kansas City can continue an undefeated season. It's just not going to happen. It's not in Sean Payton's nature to do something like that, period, in my opinion. Secondly, if you go through and look at the two other field goals, two extra points that Denver had. Chanel and a couple other defensive guys already knew that the left side was weak, and that particular player that they ran over was
Right.
already, he was light. What I can't remember exactly what it said. It's something to do with being light on his toes, the way he was lining up. He put himself in that position to be rolled back like that. And the second field goal attempt, or the second field goal after their touchdown, you can actually see the guys get through. They just didn't get the punt. They didn't get the extra point blocked. They
Right.
rolled him up. So it wasn't that this was like some insignificant play that, this guy fell down by accident. They had already zoned in on him, and they knew that if they were going to get through anybody, it was going to be on that side. Once again, why Chanel, Karlaftis, and Justin Reed were all lined up heavy on that side, because they knew that is what Tobe has worked on with those guys. They can figure that stuff out as they progress through these games, and it paid off when it needed to pay off.
Right.
There's no way Denver threw that game.
Oh, I would just every time that we win, there's got to be some conspiracy theory, right? Is all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, I just figured I would throw that out there. You know, stop complaining, people. Teams win. It's gonna happen. Um,
Yep.
Teams are 9-0. It doesn't happen that often, and I'm glad for once it's the Chiefs that are 9-0. They're winning on every aspect of the game: special teams, offense, defense. I mean, uh, kicks, punts, field position. I mean, you got to give it to them. So just get over it.
And this is not the first time that Kansas City's been 9-0.
That is
I
correct.
can't
They were
remember what
9 and
year. I think it's
under Trent Green.
Yeah,
It was under Trent
just
Green.
a few years ago. Yeah. So it's not like it's as uncommon for Kansas City to be 9-0. But over the last few years, I know that I just read or listened to a thing where they talked about the year before Andy Reid came in to coach Kansas City, they were 2-14. 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 game season. They were 2-14. So, I mean, Andy Reid has had winning seasons since he's been in Kansas City. So out of the 12 years he's been there, they made the playoffs 11 times, 11 of those years. And this is what they were talking about. Andy Reid has put together, a coaching staff that knows how to win. Spagnuolo, Tobe is kind of, maybe a teeter. Sometimes he has it right, sometimes he has it wrong with special teams. But all in all, I thought he's done a really good job over the years.
Yeah.
I think Matt Nagy's just a chess piece that just sits there, and they move him around when they think they need him. I don't know that he's a major contributor to this Kansas City offense. I think a lot of it is Andy Reid and the schemes that he comes up with, and so on and so forth. And then you go out and you get what is gonna be a Hall of Fame general manager in Brett Veach, and what he's done for this team and continues to do. He doesn't fucking phone it in for the rest of the season.
No.
He doesn't sit there and go, okay, we did our draft, we did our trades, let's just go play. No, he comes back and he says, what do you need? Let's go find it. And he goes out there. He gets a Kareem Hunt. He gets fucking Joshua Uche. He gets DeAndre Hopkins. He makes these things happen, and he keeps them in budget, and he figures it out. That's why Kansas City is 9-0. It's not just the players. Patrick Mahomes is great. He's amazing. Travis Kelce is amazing. Kareem Hunt has been amazing coming back to Kansas City.
I will say the team is amazing. They're winning on every phase of the game. For some reason, we keep letting teams stay in these games by not cashing in the red zone. Period. That game should have been, 21-point difference.
Yeah.
But that's on us.
Yeah.
If we can't get into the end zone and we're getting 3 field goals, I think we had 3 field goals, right? That game.
I believe so. Yeah.
But
one, two,
move that into just
3. We had 3 field goals.
So just move that into say 14 points and 1 field goal. That game wouldn't even have been close.
Right.
Our defense, was stout. Mahomes played well. The offense played well, but they stalled multiple times in the red zone. So we got to work on that, and let's just start putting these teams away. And then all you naysayers, the refs are not helping us. The reference about Mahomes talking to the referee saying, "Oh, let me know when they're close." You know what, people? He was not talking to the referee. He was talking to his lineman. What do you think a zebra is going to do? Yell, "Mahomes, watch out! Watch out! He's coming to get
Behind you.
I mean, come
behind
on,
you.
Be realistic about this. If you're going to make up some stupid story, at least wait till there's a penalty and say that they're favoring Mahomes. A referee is not going to be able to yell at Mahomes to tell him a defensive guy's coming to hit him. It's his lineman, people. Get over it.
Right.
I know it sucks to be top dog because these are the things that, when New England was doing well, I was one of those naysayers, I would say, I was like, why didn't they call that? Why didn't they call this? But as we said in previous podcasts, you watched the Minnesota game, the guy was almost decapitated with a referee standing right there looking at him in the end zone and no penalty. I mean, that's blatant and shouldn't have been missed, So that's all I'm saying about penalties. I'm done with it.
Not just once, but twice in 2 different games.
Yeah.
The same quarterback, the same deal where he the defensive guy's got a hold of his face mask and is pulling him down, and it's obvious that he's what he's doing. He's getting twisted and turned, and that is in 2 games, back-to-back games that those referees did not call that. And I honestly believe that in something of that nature, they should be held accountable for that. Somewhere down the line, the NFL needs to do something about that. It's not going to change the game now, but it may change the game later. It may open up their eyes. They quit zoning out and whatever they're looking at. It's like maybe they were just in awe over some defensive player that they have in their fantasy football league. I have no idea what they were doing, but it's just not right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we broke down the game. I broke down the game, Phil. Of course, I went through my notes and talked about each quarter and what happened. We finished off with Chanel. I do have one thing I want to add that I read under, and we talked about yard barkers a little bit ago, with Pacheco and Amenahu back on the practice field. Like I said, they're going to be like an open 3-week window for both the practice with the team before they're added back to the active roster. Right. But I did read something really, really cool where tight end Travis Kelce provides Week 10 hero Leo Chanel with a memento he has been after for years. Have you heard this story?
No, I haven't.
So, so we all know that watching that, if you watched the final play of the game, me personally, I spent the next 2 hours after the game was over looking over the footage that people were posting of that, trying to figure out who exactly had the block. I did get a chance to see the locker room footage
Yeah, I saw that.
after the
Yeah.
game, where even Andy didn't know who made the block. That the guys told him in the locker room that it was Leo Chanel, and that Andy offered him buy him a cheeseburger later, which I
Yeah.
thought was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was good.
Um, but Leo and this thing that I read, well, here, let me click on it here real quick. I just want to read what he said. I've been waiting for the right time, and I felt I earned it. He went and asked Kelsey for his game worn jersey, and Travis gave it to him. So I just thought that was really cool. That was something he'd been wanting for a long time, and Travis was thrilled to give it to him.
Yeah, it's weird that some
Chief shut
players
his
don't.
camera off.
Oh, hold on. Sorry,
There you are.
I was
There you
clicking
are.
around. My bad.
That's all right. It's yeah, you're right. It's really cool how some players idolize other players, and especially even if they're on the same team together. And that would be something Chanel would want for his collection. I just think it's awesome, and I think it's awesome that Kelsey just said, "Yeah, for sure, here you go." So
Very nice.
I thought that was
did
pretty
not
neat.
hear that story, so
Yeah. Well, anyway, I do want to go over some of the stats from the game. They're really not seriously over impressive.
the first
Bo
stat.
Nix at 22 for 30 for 2. Do what?
So the first stat, no interceptions this game.
That is a damn good. That is a damn good, stat for Mahomes to have. What is that? 2 games in a row now.
Yeah. So
The no interceptions. Yeah.
yeah, it's obviously the earlier games. Interceptions were plentiful. So I'm happy to
Oh
see
yeah.
that. He's starting to not. He always wants that ball to go deeper. And that's where I think he gets himself into
Yeah.
trouble sometimes. So. But anyway, go ahead with the rest of the stats. I was just happy to see no more interceptions.
Right. I just want to hit Bo Nix because I think Bo Nix is going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. Besides a couple of the rookie mistakes that he was trying to get away from Bolton and Najee Johnson. Najee had a 17-yard. It was a 17-yard loss on a sack, and then Bolton had a sack that was a 16-yard loss. And that wasn't necessarily what Bolton and Johnson did, but as much as Bo trying to get away, but just running in the wrong direction, pretty much. And I think it's a rookie. I think it's just a rookie mistake. He'll get a better feel for when just to go down and not, take the sack, not lose a ton of yards. But I think Bo Nix is actually going to be a decent quarterback in the NFL. He seems pretty smart up to this point. He went 22 for 30 for 215 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So I don't know. They're not that I'm I'm not waving a flag at Denver. There's no Denver flag going to be flying at my house or anything. But I think Bo Nix is somebody to watch in the future. So,
Yeah.
All right. So Patrick Mahomes went 28 for 42 for 266 yards. And 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Like I said, I don't know that we had Kareem Hunt had 7 for 65. Travis Kelsey went 8 for 64. D Hop went 4 for 56. P Ryan 2 for 37. Noah Gray 2 for 18. Worthy 1 for 11 on 4 targets. Man, I'm telling you, I know the kid's a rookie, and I know he's still got a lot to learn. But man, we need to figure out how to get him to catch that ball a little bit better, especially with his speed. Justin Watson 2 for 6. Peyton Hendershot 1 for 6. Hardman 1 for 3. And if you're not paying attention, then shame on you. They did call up Justin Ross. He's been in the lineup the last couple weeks. With so many of our receivers being out, he was one of those that we talked about, a couple weeks ago about bringing back up from the practice squad. With Sky Moore going on wherever the hell they decided to franchise tag his ass with, yeah, IR. Um, the last I saw that he just was dropped to the practice squad. So I mean, but yeah, bringing Justin Ross up, giving him a chance. He only had one target, no catches no receptions, for 0 yards. So take that for what it is. But um, Kelsey with the single touchdown, receiving touchdown. So, but flipping back, our rushing. Did you notice that our rushing game just was having some issues? Did you notice that?
Oh,
We could not get
so
anything.
their defense just played well against the run. I mean, to be honest.
Denver's defense played exceptionally well that entire game.
Yeah.
They were getting pressure on Pat. They were shutting down the run. What they end up with, was it 4 sacks? I think.
Yeah, they got to him
Um,
way too many times.
Way too many times. 5 sacks. No, 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 no. Look at the wrong one. It's 4 sacks. They got him 4 times. Holy shit, dude. That sucks.
Hmm.
I hate that.
But
Um,
I think Mahomes is holding the ball too much on a couple of those, and kind of like the Monday night game. The it was just you hold it too long, you try to escape instead of throwing it away. There were 2 or 3
right.
clear sacks, but I think the other 2 were coverage sacks, to be honest. And they should have been. Mahomes should
I
have
agree.
just either thrown the ball away or done something different.
Right, right. Hey, he wants to make that play. That's why he's so great. He can hold on to it just long enough to make things happen.
But,
Just Denver's defense did nothing but just blitz most of that game, and they got through. Yeah, just give me the next play. Just give me the next play.
yeah, yeah, that's when he's in the zone, is what the coach
Yeah,
says. Andy Reid is
is
like,
that
you
what
see
it
him
is?
doing this in the zone. He's dialed in.
Please don't. Anyways, rushing yards, Kareem Hunt, 14 carries, 35 yards. Mahomes had 3 for 19. Carson Steele, 2 for 3. I love Carson Steele. I'd love to see him actually. I think he would have been a better fit to, take a few more snaps and try running up the middle. I think with his power running, he probably could have knocked a few of those guys on their ass and maybe gotten through.
He
Um,
had what,
but
6 rushes?
that's here nor there.
I think he had
He had
6.
2 for 3 yards.
Oh, why am I thinking more than that?
No,
Okay.
he only had 2 carries for 3 yards. So his longest was 6 yards, if that helps.
No, doesn't.
Yeah, but other than that, defense comes away with a couple sacks. Like I said, we've talked about those, the Bolton and Johnson one. Um, but I think the biggest thing to take away from is that block kick at the very end. So defense played strong for the most part. I mean, they didn't give up a ton of rushing yards. What did they give up? 78 altogether. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Nope.
Nobody had over. SMA had 53 yards altogether. So, yeah, it was a good game right down to the very, 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 very end. And like I said, man, I was at peace with losing.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was fine with it. I was sitting on my. You probably already said, that part, but Karen and I were sitting here watching the game. I was like, you know what? Perfect seasons are hard to come by. 8-1, I'm okay with it. You know, we're still
yeah,
got the division still locked up at this point. It's not like we're, someone's right on our heels. We can afford to lose 1 or 2 games, but for the love of gosh, man, what an ending. I mean, sorry, I
yeah,
spent way too much time looking at videos that just keep popping up, based on my viewing experiences on, different platforms. And I sent Jeremy a couple of them, the Denver fans, sitting on their couch or in their bedroom saying, yes, we got this game, we got this game. And then F, 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 F. So
yeah,
sorry, Denver. I mean, you guys played a good game. You really did. You know, I really thought you were going to win. In all honesty, I'm not lying. We were going to be 8-1. kudos defense. That's all I got to say.
Yep, absolutely.
If I had a mic, I would drop it
All
right
right,
there.
let's get into. There you go. Let's get into a couple other things. So we didn't get a chance. I did a short episode last week. Chief was actually driving back from Kansas City, as we did spend Monday night in Arrowhead for the Tampa Bay game. Um, Chief sent me a couple videos. The two of them, a bus tailgating, didn't really come through. I couldn't get them downloaded, but I
Okay.
do have this one, and I hope this is a new standard in Arrowhead. I think this is flipping amazing, and I just think that this is something that should be done every game,
Yeah.
every night game at least. So here I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to share my screen. This is the video that Phil took during halftime. Is that right?
I think it was during the third quarter when they had a break and they got the crowd riled up with it, I believe. Because halftime was like, it must have been towards the end of halftime, probably. Because they had that flag football,
Right on.
girls flag football at halftime.
Yeah. Yeah. Which was a lot of fun to watch. Those girls are just, oh my God, they went out there and gave everything for that. But this is, hopefully this is a new standard in Arrowhead. So let me see if I can get this thing to work. Here we go. In one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. Yeah, what a great video. I hope that's a standard. Check it out on our YouTube. I'm starting to get all the old backlogs loaded up on YouTube, so I'll have this one will definitely be up so you guys can see that. Just everything being red and being in that stadium when that was going on, because we've been there for night games, many night games in the past couple of years, and that was just like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to be there and be a part of it.
I think they obviously upgraded their lighting system over the past few weeks with a bunch of LED type lighting. For those of you that might not be able to see what we're talking about, a lot of those other stadiums, like when they walk out on the field, it's all dark and then the lights start kicking on and off. That's pretty much it, but a bunch of red and some Tech 9 in there to go along with it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, good old Tech 9,
awesome.
man. That's a great song. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Chief. What else did you want to say about our road trip to Kansas City while we're talking about it?
I think we had a pretty good time. You guys missed out on the barbecue on Tuesday and Thursday for that matter. I think Tuesday and Thursday we had it. No, it was a good time. I got to meet some of Jeremy's, close friends, that were Tampa Bay fans. They were excited. They had a great time. Again, Arrowhead is a very friendly environment. Don't be afraid to come. They walked away from that game, I think, feeling welcomed into Arrowhead, and they had a great time. So it was nice to meet them. Number one, we did go sightseeing a little bit. Unfortunately, the Chiefs memorabilia from the Super Bowl win from the Union Station was being replaced, or had been replaced, with Christmas stuff, so we kind of missed out on that. But it was cool just to spend a day in Kansas City, just driving around. going to our favorite shop and spending way too much money, as always.
As always.
Yeah, so Rally House, we need a sponsor. I think I spent enough money there to, at least this last trip to pay 2 employees for a week,
Oh yeah,
potentially.
definitely.
So, that was cool, and I did walk up to, gosh, I'm so bad with names, Billy? Gosh, dang
Yes,
it.
Billy.
And I did find him a Tampa hat in the Rally House, and I thought he might have got it, but no, he didn't. He said, "No, I'm good." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." But I think outside of the game, we tailgated for the first time this year, so that was fun. We
Mm-hmm.
we were right next to Carlos, who was on 2 episodes ago. I asked him how the
2
hell
or
did he
3,
get
yeah.
in. I asked him how the hell they let you into the gold parking, and he's like, "I told him I was with you." I'm like, "Well, that makes sense." Me being a local celebrity in the gold parking lot. Um,
Right.
but it was cool because Carlos is usually about, I'll say, 8 trucks away from us, in the front of the red
Right.
parking lot. So it was cool to hang out right next to him. I'll be honest. So that
It
was
was.
kind of a highlight outside of the game, and uh, Jeremy introduced him to what's your band name again?
Yeah, Guilt 4. Yeah.
Yeah, Guilt
The
4, and
band
he
Guilt
played.
4. Yeah, on his.
Yeah, and
Let me
he
tell you,
kind of.
boys and girls, there is nothing like having your stuff jammed as loud as it possibly can be through Arrowhead parking lot, through the tailgate. It was like, oh yeah, that's me. And even when I looked at Carlos and told him, so that's me, he's like, what? What? I go, yeah, that's me. And the rocker chick over here is playing bass, and he just was like, no shit. And I'm like, yeah. And he played what 3 or 4 songs of ours,
Yeah,
right out there as we were kind of packing up and tearing down. But while you're
I thought
tailgating
that
and
was
cooking up
cool.
food, you got to be playing those Chief songs. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I
It
thought it
was
was
really
pretty
really cool.
cool.
Hopefully, like make his playlist.
Yeah, and Carlos, shout out to you guys. You're always good people.
Oh,
Beyond that,
definitely.
spending more money at the liquor store. Um,
Yeah.
so,
Thank God for High V.
yeah, if they graded us instead of on tailgating and how much liquor we bought of Chiefs branded stuff, and anyone
Right.
that's a fan of Maker's Mark for the Super Bowl win, they made not only the normal red wax, but a yellow wax, which Jeremy and I
Yeah.
both got the yellow wax because I've never seen it
Yep.
before in yellow. So shout out to Hy-Vee, shout out to Maker's Mark, for doing that. It was kind of cool. That'll be another special bottle
Yeah, I love
that
it.
will never be opened, but
Yep.
if you guys aren't from Kansas City, you might be able to find someone to ship it to you, whatever, but it is a cool bottle. I think that was my favorite bottle outside of um, the Chiefs Super Bowl ring bottle, Manos wine
Yeah.
that we were able to pick up.
Did you ever? Let me see if I can get this right. So I am a Maker's Mark ambassador. I definitely drink this. This is one of my favorite whiskeys. This is a bottle that I dipped myself from a barrel that had my name on it for 7 years, and you'll notice that it has my name on the logo, which it's an amazing thing. You can go to Maker's Mark and sign up for it and be a part of it. So when they decided to do a Chiefs bottle, I was I was floored. I'm like, I have to have that bottle.
Yeah, so I mean that's just kind of
Got to have it.
just some of the little, you know, things that we did while we're out there that, fans that don't go to Kansas City that often. If you plan on going to a Chiefs game this year, stop by Hy-Vee or probably any, you know, Price Chopper or whatever. Go to their liquor area, and they got some pretty cool Chiefs Super Bowl memorabilia. And just to prove,
Absolutely.
here is the yellow Maker's Mark
There's
with the champions,
Look at that.
Super Bowl champions on. on it. So I just thought it was like Jeremy, why are you, I mean, they had the red one. Why in the hell would I buy red? Because
Right.
this sitting next to the Chiefs champion right there. And was there a Jack Daniels one there too? I think I'm trying to remember the other one I got, but outside of the Manos wine that
Was
we
it?
always get. But anyway, there might have been one more
I can't
bottle.
remember. I can't remember. I spent so much fucking money in there.
Well,
but you
nonetheless,
gotta make sure that you head to the Hy-Vee at Gladstone, in Gladstone, because that's the one that has the liquor section to it. I mean, they
yeah.
all Hy-Vees have wine and beer, but the one in Gladstone, and there's one other one in Kansas City, floating around one of the suburbs, that does a wine or a liquor side. You've got to go to that. You can't just go to any Hy-Vee and find it. You got to go to one of the ones that have the liquor side in there. So
And I think
just a heads up.
oh, sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so after spending money at Hy-Vee, spending money at Arrowhead, the gift shop, spending money at Rally House, I decided to go on Fanatics just to look around, you know. And I made Jeremy spend yet another $60. So,
Yeah. No, it was 80. It was 80.
oh, that's right, 40 apiece, yeah. So
Yeah.
if you
Yep.
if you ask the highlight of my trip, that was kind of the last one because I was laughing so hard. Jeremy was like, "God damn you, Phil! I gotta buy that." And then the rocker chick
Yeah.
wanted one, so then he had to buy two.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
well worth the
exactly.
money. I paid almost $200 for that jersey, and I think you got it for $40
Right.
a piece. So,
$40.
but
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
and for those of you that go to Buffalo Wild Wings, even though your full name's on the bag that says Philip Jordan, evidently, these ass clowns, for lack of a better word. They say, "What's your name?" I say Jordan. We're sitting there for a good 15 minutes waiting for our order. No, we don't see anything with Jordan. I'm like, "How about Philip?" Then "Oh yeah, there's a Philip over there." They bring the bag out, clear as day, Philip Jordan. So yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was.
our not good.
Listen. These kids, this was not the highlight of their life working at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you could fucking tell that they were just not really thrilled to be that this was their employment, and they could give two flying fucks about anything. But and it's so stupid that you can't read the entire tag. I mean, it was right there. It's in bold letters. It said Philip Jordan on it. If you can't put those two things together, then there's fucking something wrong. And then the other point was that we sat there for that damn long before he come out and was like, "We can't find it." And I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's
"Fuck,
right. Yeah,
Phil, you ordered shit back in Indiana, didn't you?"
dude, I was gonna be so pissed because that was $100 order, and I'd have to eat the you know,
Yeah,
$65 of that and reorder everybody's food, but it worked out. But anyway, there's my
it did.
highlights,
It was fine.
all kinds of different aspects of the trip, and it was a good time. And evidently, if you play Pokemon and you go around wherever the hell we were, Lenexa, there's new things to capture, other things to battle. You spin a ball and do crazy shit. Don't get it, but they had a great time.
They did. They had a blast. And apparently, just so all you Pokemon Go users and fans out there, apparently there is some sort of trail inside of Arrowhead that you
Hmm.
can go and capture all your Pokemon. So
I
yeah,
did not
that
know
had to
that.
be done while we were in Arrowhead. Yeah,
So that
yeah.
probably was a
Now
highlight
you
of their
know.
trip for Pokemon, right? That they got something they would have never gotten before.
I don't know. Maybe one of those little Pokemon had a Chiefs jersey on. I have no idea. That'd have been fucking badass.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm down with
actually
that.
go play that just to capture that little fucker. Pikachu with the fucking Mahomes jersey on. Hell
Well,
yes!
would it be a number
Boom!
10?
Give me
Would it
some
be number 10?
Travis.
Would it be number 10?
Maybe
Pikachu. Number 10, Pikachu.
Pikachu. That's
That was
right.
our name
Isaiah
when we couldn't,
Pacheco. Yep.
yeah, we couldn't pronounce it for the first few weeks, so we just called him
Oh, it
Pikachu.
took a
And
while. That's right.
Anyway, so that's my
Uh,
highlights. I had a
all
great
right.
time with everyone.
He don't be fooled. Phil had a great time at the Rusty Cock.
Oh, I should have Karen bring my minion in here.
We
Where's
did. We
your
found Bobby found a
where's your
place on. It's in the living room. It's somewhere way
uh
far away. Um, Bobby found a place online that did metal sculptures with a lot of Kansas City stuff. So we took off and went and found this little antique mall where this the rusted clucker was inside of, and Phil spent more money in there.
yeah,
But so did I.
yeah.
I bought a Travis Kelce rookie card and an actual rooster with Kansas City logos on it, and something else. I bought an autographed Neil Smith headshot.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure if it's if I can authenticate it at all. So we're working on that too. But yeah, it was the Rusted Clucker over there in I don't even remember what town we were in now. But it's definitely a cool place to go. They had a lot of memorabilia and shit in there.
Yeah, it was on the Missouri side, I believe. But it was at an antique
Yeah,
shop,
I
whatever
know.
it was called.
I definitely would go back there. That'd be one of those places on my list to go back every other time we're in KC. Go check out
Yep,
and see what they got.
I'd be down with that. My minion and the pumpkin are sitting out front on as you come to our front door. So you'll be greeted by a minion,
Right on.
Chiefs minion, and a pumpkin. So
with a
it looks,
KC stem.
yep, it's pretty badass.
Leaf.
I like it. Yeah, I forgot
All
about
right,
that. I
Phil,
don't know
are you
why I
ready?
forgot about that. Oh my god. And you know what? I was
Are you
looking
ready?
around the Ring of Honor, by the way, as I was sitting there.
Yeah.
At least the ones I could
Uh
see on my side, thinking, what the hell ones is he going to call? He's going to call ones that were probably above me that I couldn't read because that's what he sees. So let's see what happens here. I literally was thinking that as I'm looking
Yeah.
around. I'm like, okay. Shoot.
I should get the one that's directly above you.
Oh, that would be
I'm gonna
horrible
write
because
that. Hold on. Let me write that down. Let me write that down for next week. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna write that down, and then I'll do a study on it. There we go.
by the
All
way,
right, you ready?
sorry, before you start this, you ever go to a Chiefs game?
Yeah.
The day or 2 days after, you can go to the photo of Arrowhead. They take a photo of the entire crowd, and you can zoom into where you sit and put a
Yep.
little place marker on there and send that out to your buddies. It's kind of cool.
Yep. Fan cam, it's is what it's called.
Yep.
Right now they're running a promo that if you can find the bear,
Oh, it's a
the
bear
Build a
this time.
Bear that they've got in there, yeah, you can win a Build a Bear thing out there. So, I need to go look at this last game. I haven't looked at it yet. So, or the game against the Buccaneers because I need to get that tag, get a picture of it. The four of us. Hopefully, the four of us are all together at that point. So, hopefully, I'm not wearing my poncho because I look a little puffy when I wear my poncho.
Or fluffy. Little fluffy.
A little puffy. All right, Phil.
All right, shoot.
Born February 23rd, 1972. This American former professional football player who was a running back in the National Football League from 1994 to 1999. He started his career at David W. Carter High School in Dallas, Texas, where he was highly recruited running back and was named to all district, all Texas, and all American teams after rushing for 1,122 yards and 14 touchdowns as a senior in 1989. He went to college at Texas A&M, where in 91 he made an immediate impact in the first game of his freshman year by rushing for 212 yards, which is still an NCAA freshman debut record. In a 45-7 Augie thrashing of LSU. I ain't going to get into too much more of his college stuff because he did a lot of record breaking in college. with a 94 scamper against TCU, which was later broke by Tiki Hardman. He finished his A&M career with 3,262 rushing yards, third all-time in the Aggies, and added 33 touchdowns, fifth of all time. He was selected by the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round, that is 25th overall, in the 1994 NFL Draft. He was the third Texas A&M player chosen in the first round that year, along with Sam Adams and Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, isn't he like coaching in Denver now? Maybe.
I don't know.
Once again, I'm going to have to go look that up. Once again, he made an immediate impact in his first season, playing well as a backup to legend Marcus Allen, picking up 574 yards rushing, an average of 4.1 a carry. He appeared in all 16 games. What's that?
I said that was going to be my first guess, Marcus Allen, until you said that this person was drafted by the Chiefs. I'm like, well, that marks Marcus Allen off my guest list.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus was drafted by the Raiders, I do believe, right?
Right. That's why I said I marked it off.
I had to look that up.
You said drafted by the Chiefs. I'm like, all right, it's not Marcus Allen.
Yeah. So let's see. The following season, he moved into a platform role with Allen, appearing in 16 consecutive and again making one start. He had his first 100-yard game of his career with 109 on 15 carries in the season opener on September 3rd versus Seattle. This player and Allen were a formidable team together. You know, it's good when you have two good running backs that kind of go back and forth. The Chiefs had an impressive year, finishing 13-3, but lost to the underdog Indianapolis Colts in the first playoff game. They switched roles in 1997, with this player becoming the starter and the veteran Allen spelling him in relief throughout every game for that year. It was a disappointing season for him as he finished with only 550 yards. He was granted free agency after the 97 season and signed with the St. Louis Rams, where I do believe he only spent 1 year before going to the Detroit Lions.
You got me again because I was going to say Priest Holmes, but he didn't get traded. He got injured, so that rules him out.
He just kind of retired. This player spent the 2000 season out of football, and was rumored that Marty Schottenheimer, who coached him in Kansas City, and the Washington Redskins would pick him up in the 2001 season, but he never returned to the NFL. His total NFL career, he rushed for 3,218 yards and 12 touchdowns. He was an on-air talent with Kevin Scott at KRLD.FM 105.3, The Fan, until June 22nd of 2009.
All my guesses are already done.
Now you know that I'm not going to go for the big player. You know, the Marcus Allens, the Derek Thomas, the Neil Smith, the Joe Montana.
The only other running back that comes to mind is Larry Johnson, but that was later. That wasn't earlier.
It was after this player. This player was one of my favorites in the early season of me watching the Chiefs. And I always wondered what happened to him because, you know, he was there and then he wasn't. You know, it was just like, it was one of those deals. But, ladies and gentlemen, are you giving up?
Yeah.
He wore, I do believe, he wore number 27. It is Greg Hill.
I forgot about him. I went all around him. Priest Holmes, Marcus Allen, Larry Johnson.
Right. Yep.
I was tracking the right spots, just wrong player. Damn it.
Right.
I thought I might get this
That's
one.
the joy.
Oh well.
Oh, so much fun doing these. So much fun doing these. I love it. So there you go.
All right.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, Chief. Let's wrap this up.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening to Indiana Chiefs fans. Glad the Chief could get dialed in here. He's been doing his side hustles and doing his thing. So we're glad you could make it. We'll be back next week. Well, we will be discussing this Bills game in Buffalo as Kansas City heads to Buffalo for a late Sunday. I think it's a 4:45 game or 4:30 game on Sunday. That'd be 3:30 your time.
3:25.
No, 4:25 in a real man's time zone.
Hey, I'm 10 minutes away from it. I'm getting there.
I know, right? Weird. But yeah, we will be discussing, will we be 10-0 or will we fall to Buffalo for the first loss? It's going to be a tough one, man. If we show up with our A game, then Buffalo doesn't stand a chance. But if we stagger, if we turn, then Chief's saying we're going to be 10-0. Yeah. I'm hoping.
With it.
I'm hoping to be relaxed. We're going to roll it. Three-peat, baby. All right, guys. From our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, I just got 3 words for you. Are you ready? How about those Chiefs? Later.
Thank you for listening to the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?